I'm so excited because a few days ago, I just turned 60 and I never thought I would be so excited to turn 60. But I am. And part of the reason is because I feel so good. But let me tell you this, I had to go through some things to get to this side, to feel this good. And that route, of course, I had to go through my 30s, my 40s, to go through my own health challenges. And you might be going through your own health challenges. And if you are not, I want to ask you, is there anything you have experienced that is sending you a sign? That's some sort of little sign. Like, for example, we might experience a health challenge and it might be like a little tap. And then that one tap, like months or years later, can get stronger and stronger until you have to deal with it. And that's what happened to me. When I was in I think my early 30s, I had, and women commonly can experience this, I had an ovary that burst. You know, as women, we might have ovarian issues. You might have problems with your period. Well, I was like, I mean, it was quite painful, but I was like, let me just keep it moving. But I think a few years later, in my late 30s, early 40s, I started developing endometriosis, fibroids. My stomach got as big as a bowling ball. And then something, and it's, I think it's not uncommon, you know, to realize that, or to think that maybe when we have so many problems in our lower abdomen, that it can affect our digestion. And that's what happened to me. It's like I lost about 30 pounds. I became bedridden for at least 6 months. Like, I mean, bedridden, couldn't eat a thing, went on broth, just that's all I could do. All I could do, lost all energy. And I was even asking myself, what's wrong with me? What did I do to deserve this? I literally thought I was dying because I had no control. And if you are going through any sort of health challenge, you might feel you don't have control. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to be ruthless. I want you to be ruthless in exploring and experimenting. Of course, go to the doctor, find out and get all the medical support you can and that you can do. And that's what I did. I had surgeries. I had a great doctor, but something was telling me there was something on the inside that was happening to me. And sometimes a health challenge is not only what's going on with you physically, it can also take you on a journey emotionally and also spiritually, quite frankly. So that's what I did. I became ruthless about finding out about plant-based food. I just had a feeling it was part of my healing. So here's what I noticed. I noticed that when I ate processed foods, again, as women, we have to be in tune with what's happening with our cycles. It is just our core. You know, we think about our cycles and bleeding. It is our life. It was part of my, your lifeblood. So I was bleeding more profusely if I had processed foods, meats, things like that. Um, Even like heavier carbs. And I said, there is something that is connected with all of this. So I had to stop eating all of that. And I said, I am just going to become like I was going to say like a dog with a bone. I don't want to say a dog with a bone. I don't want to bring in bones, but I just had to be like really aggressive and I started focusing on greens. I just got serious about eating greens, and I did everything, not only with salads, cooking them, their power, which ones had, I was looking at things like antioxidants. I was looking at which ones just had more fiber because I wanted to find out like what would be the impact. And it was amazing what started happening with my body and how I started turning my life around. But also that what happened is when you're going through a healing crisis, not only might you be going through a breakthrough physically, but as I said, emotionally and spiritually. I realized that the friends that I had, certain conversations that I had, my body became really sensitive to interactions and people. Like words became really, really important. And that's something we don't have to get into that like right now. But when you are going through a healing crisis, everything can be on the table. Notice how everything affects you. For me, one of the quickest ways to do that was through food. But I noticed I was transforming in other ways. That people simply had to move out of my life. I had to leave certain people, and that hurt a lot. But I was like, if it's going to make me sick, I can't do it anymore. So realize that now, when you come through that crisis, it's like you came through a storm, but everything is clearer. And also, you realize, okay, like I said, maybe things that you ate before that you couldn't eat, you can't do again. But I think one of the best gifts that I ever got was learning and becoming more like a becoming plant rich and having a plant-based diet. That is something no matter what that I will take away from in terms of my healing breakthrough and what it has brought me. Not only, like I said, in terms of how it has elevated me in terms of emotionally, but what it has done in terms of physically, in terms of frankly just restoring my health. So I hope that just gives you a little inspiration if you are looking to adapt and change to a plant-rich diet, but also if you're going through some things yourself, it's going to get better. But just understand that you got to take some ownership and responsibility yourself to do whatever you have to do the healing. It also takes you being partly responsible with that, along with the doctors who are there to help you. So I hope that helps. And I hope whatever you are going through, that you experience a wonderful, wonderful year, and just eat all of those plants that you can, because it is just part of getting you to further and to a better place than you ever thought before. Okay, bye bye.